Hey guys, welcome back to day 2 of April is PSVR AF here without Parole. Yesterday we kicked off the festivities by revealing the Swordsman VR Dismemberment trailer, taking a deep dive into both Gadgeteer and Pets VR, chatting with the lead developer behind the upcoming VR action-adventure Hubris, and of course, finishing off by debuting Truant Pixel's PSVR 2 game, Runner. Topping day 1 seemed like an impossible task, so you'll have to let me know if we manage to do that or not. In the meantime though, let's kick off day 2 by checking in with Anne-Marie over at Cluj Interactive about their upcoming PSVR rhythm game, Synthriders.
Synthriders is a dance-action, music rhythm game which lets players experience music in a very physical, immersive way. The gameplay itself is easy to learn, but a lot harder to master. Players will reach out to catch notes and ride rails in time to the music, making sure to use the correct coloured hand for the correct target. Sometimes they can select a colour of their choice, and sometimes they need to use both hands together. And at the same time, they're dodging obstacles by moving their head. So the combination of these mechanics, along with the choreography that's been mapped for each song across 5 difficulties, will have you dancing and moving to the beat, and especially if you want to get those high scores. All this takes place inside a variety of retro-future-inspired worlds from which you can choose. They all have reactive lighting and effects which give each world a unique artistic character. You'll find giant heads, giant spinning mechanisms, futuristic cities, giant synthesizers, synthwave sunsets. There's just plenty to choose from. The game was released into early access in 2018 and has been steadily evolving since then as we've left early access and grown into a feature-rich game with many added features such as spin mode, which takes any song in the game and turns the player in their play space, adding a new level of challenge. 10-player multiplayer with voice chat, and that was extended to add power-ups. Now these are a fun twist that lets you collect and launch sabotages that affect other players while you're playing the game, bringing fun of kart-style races to our multiplayer rooms and making it more fun than ever to play with friends. Most recently, we've introduced experiences. Now, these are artistically driven and created to match perfectly with the song in our game by our creative director. These give the player a really special blend of sight, sound, and physical action to deliver a real, true Synthriders experience. And so far, we've released these for Come Out and Play by The Offspring and Algorithm by Muse. Musically, the game comes with 55 free songs, plus another 20 available as paid DLC, and this will continue to grow over time. Music is very important to Cluj. Our creative director was a DJ and our CEO was an editor of a music magazine, so we always want to make musical choices which are diverse and interesting. We're happy switching from synthwave to electro swing to EDM to punk, but all the while choosing songs which are interesting and mapping them for our players in a way which will allow you to really find the fun and challenge. We look forward to being able to release Synthriders for PlayStation VR, and we look forward to welcoming you all to our community.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Now, as you probably know, horror games are my absolute favorite, and VR horror, doubly so. So let's take a minute right now and take a deeper dive into the world of Desolation.
Desolation is a graphic adventure based on Lovecraft myths, whose main characteristics and innovations are the hyper-realistic graphics that we generate from a real 360 image, which makes you, the player, have a greater immersion in the game, and a complex narrative with multiple endings and paths that you will have to take, taking you to one place or another. These two characteristics, added to an immersive sound, get you to have a unique experience every time you play Desolation. Desolation is a point-and-click, classic-style graphic adventure, based on the old adventures of the 80s and 90s, such as Myst or Lost in Time. The game, as a good graphic adventure, will be full of puzzles and riddles, which you will have to solve to advance. It will also pose a series of decisions to be made, which will influence the end of the game, leading you to multiple endings, both good and bad. But that is not all. We are going to implement a sanity system by which the character or the player will be affected by the actions they take and what they see in the game, which can lead them to a point of madness, so typical of all Lovecraft adventures. A technical aspect of the game to highlight is that we use 360 photos and videos as a basis for our graphics. This way, we achieve hyper-realistic environments so that the player feels totally immersed in the story we want to tell. Being a photorealistic game, one of the biggest challenges was finding locations that would work both in a classic and gothic horror story like Lovecraft's, as well as in the level design that we had to plan to create a graphic adventure. In the game, you will control 4 characters immersed in a story of disappearances and murders, following in the footsteps of a mysterious sect that tries to awaken an ancient and terrible god. We want you to be scared, to feel the oppressive atmosphere, and that when you finish playing, you have to sleep with the light on.
Desolation looks great, but maybe it's time to switch gears a little bit and check in with Rainsoft, who's currently working hard to bring Terje Hackinson's Powder VR to PlayStation VR.
Powder VR is an extreme winter sports VR simulation. Ski, snowboard, or wingsuit your way over ice and snow at crushing velocities. Featuring Snowboard Magazine's #1 most influential snowboarder of all time, Terje Hackinson. The game's many features include hundreds of miles of explorable terrain spanning 6 different mountains, each with their own unique, feature-rich courses. An advanced trick system with the ability to perform insane flips, spins, and grabs. Full player customization and instant replay in VR so that you can show off your best runs with your friends. Peripheral support that includes PlayStation Move, DualShock 4, and 3D rudder. And a full story mode which has you racing against pros and fellow teammates, performing side missions to earn entry to bigger mountains, and earning accessories like the ice axes, grappling hooks, boost packs, and rocket-powered wingsuits. Powder VR is currently in early access on Steam for $20, with a free demo available. The full release will be coming to Steam, Quest, Viveport, and PlayStation VR in 2021.
Okay, I gave you a little break from the horror with some extreme sports, but I can't wait any longer to talk about Affected the Manor Complete Edition. Luckily, Alex Moretti from Fallen Planet Studios was gracious enough to sit down and spend some time talking with me about the upcoming DLC. Let's check out that conversation now. Hey guys, with me today is Alex Moretti, CEO of Fallen Planet Studios, as I'm sure all of you know out there, we're the developers behind Affected the Manor. Thank you so much for being here today, Alex.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for asking me to come on.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy that you made it. I got a question before we even talk about Affected and what in your plans for it in the future. And that question is, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do. I think that's driven us to do the horror thing, just personally haunted on a daily basis and just trying to put these into a VR app to kind of exercise the demons from myself and put them onto the VR community.
Excellent, man. Excellent. I love hearing that. So back, I believe in ghosts fully, man. My apartment is so haunted, it's not even funny, which is crazy when you're wearing a VR headset, but that's maybe a story for a different time. So back in December on our PSVR award show, you announced that Affected the Manor Complete Edition would be coming soon, which would include the full game and the DLC all in one package. Can you tell us a little bit about the DLC that we should expect?
Yeah, definitely. So Affected the Manor, that's our the classic horror walkthrough that we created and released on the PlayStation platform back at the end of 2018, I think it was now. Time flies. Since then, we've had some cool new products. So we've got the Gauntlet. So the Gauntlet is a spooky speed run. We wanted to bring in some level of replayability into Affected the Manor. And we felt a speed run against the clock where you can compete against your own time, global leaderboards against the rest of the community, was a great way for people to get a bit more play time out of the manor, a bit more replay for them to enjoy.
I think that you also said that there's randomized events during these speedruns, correct?
Yeah, that's right. We want to mix it up. We want to make it difficult for people. We've got a leaderboard, and we always look to see who's kind of getting the top times on there. We just had a new fastest time, which we put out on our socials, which is it's great to see people competing for it. So we've got some randomized events in there, so you don't know what scares are going to get you. We've also got multiple choice options as well, so which door are you going to pick, which route's going to be the fastest. So yeah, it'll be different every time. It's going to be cool to see the PlayStation VR community getting to grips with it.
Yeah, I can't wait. That sounds really exciting. And the other piece of DLC is, I think the one that I'm most excited for, because it sounds really scary, is called The Darkness, correct?
The Darkness, that's right, yeah. So we wanted to crank it up a little bit for The Darkness. So we've changed the light source. So instead of the flashlight, which is scary enough, we've gone for a candle. So that just really brings the vision much closer in, the awareness of the user. And it's always kind of what's afraid, what's in the dark. That's the unknown's always scarier than the known, I think. So within Affected the Manor, we've spent a lot of time developing techniques where we can build tension, build atmosphere, using what could be around the corner, using sounds as much as just kind of jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. So with The Darkness, that was us, almost like the director's cut of the Manor. A little bit shorter, but definitely a little bit more intense for those people to get through.
And it's actually some new locations in the Manor, correct?
Yep, that's it. It's all brand new environments, so the Gauntlet, totally new environment. Same with The Darkness. It's set within that same feel, so we're using similar elements. But yeah, it's not just kind of you're in the manor and now you're going to get through the manor quick, or you're in the manor and you've got a new candle. It's different environments, different scares. We want to make sure it's new and we're offering real value to the community.
This is a free upgrade for people who already purchased Affected the Manor on the PlayStation Store. Mm-hmm. Will there be a price increase, though, for people who haven't purchased it?
Yeah, there will be. So we're $4.99 at the moment, and that's what we released back in 2018. We're going to $9.99. That's kind of a pragmatic change for us. We want to, as an independent studio, make sure we have the same product, the same price on all platforms. It makes it easier for us to manage it, and I think it's much fairer for the community that way. So we still always want to make sure we're at the lower end. We know we're not a kind of a 25-hour gameplay online, play it for months on end. So for us, getting that value offer right is really important for us. So yeah, it'll be a slight price increase, but it's the same on the other platforms. So for new users that have already got it, they'll just get that all completely as standard. And with the launch of the complete edition, we'll be repackaging it, and it'll be a $9.99 product.
Excellent. And the original projected release window for this was supposed to be Q1.
Obviously, there's been delays across the board and around the world. Internally as well, the PlayStation VR process is one of the more trickier ones to get through, I suppose. So they've got different levels of that submission process, which we're through, where they have a VRC and then a general FQA element. It just took a bit longer, but we're happy to be kind of through that now and looking forward to confirm a release date soon. So we're just missing Q1, but not by much.
I'm assuming you're not going to be able to answer this, but I'm still going to ask you anyway. You mentioned during the award show that you're also developing 2 new VR games. I'm assuming it's way too early to talk about them, but can you tell me if either one is a horror game?
Well, I mean, horror's it's what we do best and it's what we love. And the Affected universe is something that we're just so keen to explore. Affected started off as a trilogy back in the day, and we've kind of got plans to expand on that. So yeah, we're going to be giving those horror fans some more horror content as well as some new ones as well. You know, we're constantly getting asked for follow-ups to the Manor, and we want to make sure that we can accommodate that. You know, we love to see how people enjoy it, how people get scared, how they scare their friends. You know, some people just, it's what they're into. So yeah, we want to make sure that we can get more of that content out for them.
Nice. Well, if you're taking requests, I would love Affected the Amusement Park.
Okay, I like it. That's a good one. We'll have to get you in and do some writing for us.
I'd be more than happy to.
Test the scares out as well, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a crybaby. Everything makes me jump, which is why I love horror so much.
Awesome.
Alex, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and we're all very, very excited to see the future of Fallen Planet, the future of Affected, and of course, all the DLC coming our way.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for having me on, Brian. Cheers.
Finally, and I think you're all going to be really excited about this, we have an extended look at Rhythm of the Universe Ionia by Row 2 Games, who are actually just down the street from me here in Massachusetts. Take it away, Jason.
My name is Jason Parks. I'm CEO of Row 2 Entertainment. We're an immersive entertainment studio based out of Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm excited to share our flagship virtual reality game, Rhythm of the Universe Ionia.
Ionia has been the only home I've ever known. It's a land of ceaseless wonder and infinite harmony. You hear it in the mighty song of the Bersaurus, and see it in the glow of ocarinas, big and small.
The reason why we're making this VR game is due to the fact that humanity has wiped out over 50% of animal life since 1970. I don't want my grandchildren thinking of rhinoceroses as I do dinosaurs, right? At Row 2, we strive to find ways to use our creativity to raise awareness of real-world problems. So we asked ourselves, how can we help inspire empathy for the natural world and people from all walks of life? And for us, it's pretty simple. We've been doing it for over 10 years. And that's by using humanity's universal language, which is music. And we do it in a way no one else has done before, through the gamification of music theory. Now, imagine being in a musically inspired forest, right? You're in this, your eyes are closed, and as they open, you're in this ancient ruin with musical symbols all over the walls. And in front of you is your sister Allegra, who's also your guide through this world of Ionia. You quickly find out that you're a child who embarks on a journey with your sister to heal the mythical creatures of the Ionian forest with musical superpowers. Seriously, one example, we intuitively teach you a conducting pattern, which magically heals a musically inspired moth the size of a house. It's pretty crazy, I know, but original characters are only a fraction of what makes Ionia unique. By utilizing AI systems, motion and facial capture technology, and a lot more, we are able to bring the characters and the world around them to life. While most VR teams focus on the visual form, Road 2 went above and beyond, bringing together a team of Grammy-nominated artists and international musicians. So the story of Ionia surrounds you in a way that you've never heard before. Users get to meet hyper-realistic creatures like the Ocarina and the Brachiosaurus, basically a giant dinosaur with a saxophone neck, which are all inspired by musical instruments, thanks to the powerful VR optimization techniques and future-proof asset quality that the Unreal Engine gets to provide our team. Also, the gameplay, it's just fun and intuitive, providing the right amount of challenge for everyone. We actually had Agatha, a 101-year-old, try our game. She was one of our beta testers, and she loved it. We encourage all ages to explore, climb, and enjoy the gamification of music theory.
I've never been this close before. Ugh. Gross. Maybe we're a bit too close. Ugh. Isn't it spectacular? Our ancestors fought side by side with the Brachiosaurus in this valley to preserve harmony.
Now, some of you might recognize this as the end of the demo, but here's a sneak peek of never-before-seen footage.
Rhythm shook into existence.
Not let anybody just simply pass. There are stories where people have starved in front of him for days.
Man, I can't believe how amazing all of these developers have been to take part in our little April is PSVR AF celebration. Day 1 was awesome, Day 2 was awesome, and I can't wait to share what we have in store for Day 3. So make sure you come back tomorrow at noon Eastern and watch it with us live. Can't wait to see you there.